Imagine finally completing your studies in Canada, only to realize that you are ineligible for a postgraduate work permit. Don't let this nightmare become your story. Applying to study to live in Canada without knowing this vital information is like setting sail without a compass. Postgraduate work permit is a type of open work permit that allows you to work for unlimited hours after schooling. As a student, you can work up to 20 hours in a week, but with a postgraduate work permit, you can work for as many hours as you like and can. With this, you can get Canadian experience, which gives you an edge while applying for permanent residency. First, you have to be sure that the school you're applying to is a DLI and is eligible for a postgraduate work permit. Here's how to do that. So you go to your browser and you search for designated institution list. Now when you click on it, then you scroll down, you'll see where they said you should view list by province. More like searching by province. Let me search in Ontario. You have to know the province of the school you are looking for. So I want to go to McMaster University. So you can see from here, this is the DLI number, and yes, they offer postgraduate work permit. Then a school like Adler offers yes with details. Yes with details means that some programs do give the PGWP while some don't. So if you complete degree in psychology or doctor in psychology, you get the postgraduate work permit, but in other course they don't. So be sure that the course you want to study offers the postgraduate work permit. Then we have other schools that has no. Then schools like this, no. So make sure your school has yes if you want a school that offers postgraduate work permits. Even if you're working with an agent, request for the name of the school and check for yourself before they will tell you they forgot to check, and you don't need that. However, if the school you're applying to doesn't offer a postgraduate work permit, you have these three options. Consider switching to another school that does offer a postgraduate work permit as soon as possible. Depending on the school policy, you might be eligible for a refund if the program is just starting. Towards the end of the program, you can consider applying to another school that offers a postgraduate work permit and extend your study permit. Alternatively, you can look for an employer that will give you a job via a closed work permit, LMIA. Getting a job through LMIA can be challenging, but you can give it a shot. According to the IRCC website, the PGWP has a minimum duration of 8 months and a maximum duration of 3 years. If you do a program that's less than 8 months, you will not be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. For programs lasting between 8 months and 2 years, your postgraduate work permit will be the length of your program. If your program is 2 years and above, you'll be granted a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Master's programs are exception to this rule. Even a 1-year program qualifies you for a 3 years postgraduate work permit. Now, if you are enrolled in a 1-year college program but aspire to obtain a 3 years postgraduate work permit, you can enroll in the second program. You may not be in the same course, best if you can do something similar. According to IRCC website, your PGWP duration will be the combined length of both programs. If you do one 10 months, one 12 months, you have what 22 months, or you have, if it's 2 years, you have what 3 years postgraduate work permit. If you do an accelerated program where you study your 2 years program within 1 year, you still qualified for your 3 years as stated by IRCC. To get a postgraduate work permit, you have to meet this requirement. You have to maintain full-time studies. If your program have more than 50% of their studies online, you are not eligible for a postgraduate work permit. Another factor that can affect your application is if you work more than the required hours as a student. For instance, you can work just 20 hours as a student and you're just packing more work, doing jobs to make money. I know you want the money, but this is it's a criminal offense, and it will affect your chances of getting a postgraduate work permit and even becoming a permanent resident here in Canada. So take this very seriously. You have up to 180 days after you graduate to apply for a postgraduate work permit, and you need to provide any of these to prove that you've completed your study: a degree or diploma, an official letter from your school, or your transcript. If your study permit will expire before you get your grades, you have to apply for a visitor's record to stay in Canada, or you leave and apply from outside Canada. I prefer the first one because we ain't going anywhere. Another thing to note is, before you apply for your postgraduate work permit, Make sure your passport is valid for the entire period of your postgraduate work permit. If not, you'll be given the length of your passport validity and you'll be notified if you can apply for an extension or not. If you know you opt for a 3 years graduate work permit, make sure your passport is up to 3-4 years, so that they are giving you extra months, you're going to fit in. Okay, here's my advice: aim for the maximum length of a postgraduate work permit. This PGWP is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I've seen when students opt for a 1-year postgraduate work permit, hoping to secure a job immediately after they graduate, so they can get this work experience needed to get this permanent residency. However, they fail to do so, leading to frustration, depression, and going back home. So to avoid all this, aim for the full 3 years of postgraduate work permit. If your program offers a 1-year postgraduate work permit, consider doing a second program. Better yet, look for programs lasting for 2 years or pursue a master's degree. Keep in mind, the job you need is not just any job. The job you need to get the Canadian experience should be one or more in the NOC tier 0, 1, 2, 3, and not just any casual job. It must be a paid job. Of course, we need the money. Voluntary work and unpaid internship doesn't count towards this work experience. I'm not saying that you cannot get your 1-year experience in a 1-year postgraduate work permit, but it is risky and you cannot apply again. You understand? It's like go back and come back in the next 10 years. Once your name have entered the system and you've done it, you can't do it again. So it's best I take it all, like I grab everything. But here's some things you can do if you don't have an option and you have to do it in 1 year. Just have a rock solid plan. Check if there are PR stream you could join. Make sure you've written your IELTS, score very high in your IELTS. Make sure you study in-demand programs like healthcare programs, hospitality, PSW, and maybe in a less saturated province where you know that after finishing schooling, you're getting a job. Also, network and start applying for job even before you graduate, so that as you're graduating, you are doing the job. After submitting your application, you can work full-time with the letter issued to you by IRCC. So if you are lucky enough to get a job in that NOC tier 0, 1, 2, 3, those 3-4 months before your application is being approved count towards the 1-year Canadian experience, and the PGWP doesn't expire at exactly 1 year. Sometimes they can add additional 2 months, 3 months, so you can get that 1 year work experience. But the issue is if you don't get that job, because the job you need is not just any job. It's not just maybe dishwasher job. No, it has to be a career job. Sometimes this kind of job can take a while to get, and your clock is ticking. If you don't do it in the first maybe 5 months, you know that you're already less than 1 year. You understand? That's why I advise that you should go for the maximum of 3 years. You will get, even if you get the job within the first month, lucky you do your thing, you apply and you get it. I know it's more expensive, but what is worth doing is worth doing well. Start networking and job searching early to maximize your chances of finding employment after graduation. Do well to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm rooting for you as always. You can make extra money without violating the student hour rules if you do cash jobs on the side. Watch the video next for the skills you should learn before coming to Canada. See you there. Bye.